I am Brigadier Adelaide Souza of the Special Air Service Regiment. Gentlemen, at 03:32 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Joint Defence Facility Pine Gap began losing contact with all satellites in orbit. Communications, commerce, global positioning have all gone dark. Our telephone and internet connections to the rest of the world have been given priority by the government over the civilian population. I don't need to tell you that there is panic in the streets already. What you and the rest of the civilian population don't know is that shortly before losing communication, Warsaw Pact soldiers began moving through Poland. World War III may have already begun, and we have no idea. The services of your mercenary group are one of several operations scrambling to regain intel in this new world. The contract before you details your mission: an illegal black operation to the nearby islands of New Scotland to restore a friendly government, and a secondary objective of gathering intelligence on the location of any redoubtable submarines operating in near waters. I've brought in a number of subject matter experts to brief you on the situation. This is Mr. Jack Oliver, a special agent with the Department of Home Affairs. He specialises in national security in regards to foreign threats.
We can skip the usual nonsense. This isn't your first operation, and we don't have the time. Needless to say, Prime Minister Howard will disavow you if you are caught spying on an ally. At this time, the most modern Collins-class submarine is preparing for your mission. You'll embark from this facility and make best speed for New Scotland. It should take 50 hours. Waiting for local cover of darkness, approximately 7 p.m. local time on November 5th, the HMAS Deschenaux will deploy an inflatable boat. The three of you and whatever equipment you can carry will disembark at the northeast coast of the primary island of New Scotland. You will make contact with our local agent. This man, Sergeant Cyrus Bowie. He left the service and the country in protest to the new laws following the Port Arthur massacre, but Home Affairs has kept him on the payroll as a human intelligence asset. Make contact with him as soon as possible. Give him this capsule. It contains an order for him to make available any resources you deem necessary to complete your mission.
On the nature of New Scotland itself, the situation is troubling. We've asked one of our RAF liaisons here to brief you. Captain Gren?
Chaps, it's like this. Electronic communications are being jammed on New Scotland. From what intelligence we could gather from passing ships, radio towers across the island are either down or are broadcasting a powerful signal jamming. Scattered reports indicate widespread power outages, and a paramilitary force is rising across the countryside to seize control. The timing of this cannot be a coincidence. New Scotland is a French colony, technically still part of mainland France. It has held periodic ballots to determine independence, which, while unsuccessful, have routinely gotten closer to a breakthrough. A series of roads surround the island and make up the majority of inhabited land. There are several small airfields and an international airport in the capital of Noumea, with a military airbase there as well. The local fleet contains 1 Floreal-class surveillance frigate and 2 patrol boats. The loyalty of the crews are undetermined at this time. The Australian government is a signatory to the Franz Agreement with France and New Zealand. This pact is defensive in nature, and its terms are not as close as something like NATO. Nevertheless, you may be forced to take actions in violation of this. The understanding I have with your superiors is that keeping the current government in power is only a priority if you determine it to be in the national interest. The stability of our closest nuclear-armed neighbours is of top priority. France is, of course, the 4th largest power in terms of nuclear energy, with over 500 confirmed warheads, MIRV capability, the redoubtable ballistic missile submarine series, and its 2 carriers supplementing land-based launchers. France is a world superpower in terms of force projection. This nuclear triad, or the force de dissuasion as they call it, is a prime concern to all Commonwealth countries in these troubling times. Their refusal to sign the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty has left allies at a loss. Equally worrying is their stance on nuclear first strike, as the only nuclear-equipped nation to aggressively pursue tactical and strategic nuclear strikes to protect their interests. This will be your landing site roughly 24 miles northwest of Hyang. This area is rumored to be a hotbed for National Socialists and other fascist ideologies in the past. Many of the locals are indigenous.
Yes. Well, that's quite enough on that. An upfront payment of 10,000 Australian dollars each has been wired to your accounts. Upon securing the locality and allowing peacekeeping forces to land, an additional $50,000 will be sent. This mission may require a long time in the bush, rebuilding a nation, or it could be done in a day. We simply don't know what we don't know, and between now and landing, missiles could already be in the air.
This operation is classified at the protected level and is need to know. The code name is Thunderchild. You depart momentarily. Any questions?